Hey folks, my name is Judson Voss and this is the REI Minute. I'm glad you stopped by today because I got some really cool information, stuff that I think is going to help you out with your real estate business. So let's get started right away. The first thing is a story I was reading the other day, and it's some research from RealtyTrack and an interview with Rick Sharga, who's the Vice President of Marketing over there. Real nice guy and a very knowledgeable guy when it comes to foreclosures. We've had him speak at events before, and Rick's got a lot of great stuff to teach on foreclosure investing itself. But what the article was is some research they did, and what they found is that in the current market, about around the nation, nationally, foreclosed homes, bank-owned homes, REOs, whatever you want to call them, once the home's been taken back by the bank, is being discounted about 27% off the retail price, which is obviously good news for those of us as investors because we're getting a better deal, meaning making more money or more cash flow in the long term. And the reason behind it, as the article goes on to explain, is because in the current market, there's a pretty good amount of supply, obviously, of foreclosed homes, but ready, willing, and able buyers over here is pretty low. You know, retail buyers are having a hard time getting mortgages, less incentive now that the tax credit's gone away. And so that leaves a lot of us investors there, but there's just not enough of us, obviously, to absorb that whole inventory. And the banks are recognizing that finally and discounting the properties. But what I also thought was just as interesting, and me as a short sale investor, very excited about, is the fact that short sales, which is, if you don't know, the bank has a mortgage over here on a property, and this is how much the mortgage is, but the property is only worth either as much as the mortgage or in a lot of cases less than what the mortgage is. So for the bank to get rid of that property, they need to lower what's owed on that mortgage to sell off the property and satisfy the lien so somebody else can buy it and they can get that off their books. Well, what happens in the foreclosure process is the banks pay a bunch of money for lawyers, realtors. They spend a lot of time trying to sell homes once they've taken them back, and these are all expenses they don't need. So if they can sell the home or decrease the mortgage prior to going through the foreclosure process, they save themselves some money. And what we're seeing from this research is they're starting to pass that on to investors or realtors that are negotiating these discounts. So for me, that's very exciting to see that the industry is working that way. And I've also been noticing that our negotiators are getting better deals. Banks are willing to deal just a little quicker on that. So that's been very cool stuff. Also want to tell you real quick, and this is something that I know that people ask about, is how do I finance, short sales or bank-owned homes and that type of thing, especially if I want to buy them and fix them, or if I want to flip them to somebody else. How am I going to get a mortgage on that? And I'll tell you, it's tough these days. There's two ways to do it. One is private lenders. But a lot of times with private lenders, you need to get a whole bunch of money together. If you're just going to pick up $100,000 house and then flip it right away, you need somebody with 100 grand or 5 people with 20 grand, whatever it is, that sometimes it takes a little more work than you're willing to put in for something maybe you're going to hold for less than 30 days, right? So what my recommendation is, look at hard money lenders. And yes, they cost money. Yes, they're higher interest, but if you're only holding it for a short period of time and you've worked a really good deal out, it's probably the best option to get these properties financed, especially short sales, to sell them to a retail buyer or to another investor. Or if you're going to get them and just and fix them up and then sell them, because hard money lenders oftentimes are going to give you the money you need to buy the property plus the money you need to rehab it. So those are two really important ingredients in there. Two things I'm willing to pay a bunch of money for. I don't want to pretend like I'm the expert on hard money when it comes to it. And it's not just a matter of going out and finding a lender and, asking for money. There's a little bit more to it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to point you to a resource that I think will be helpful. It's about like a 13, 15-minute video that a friend of mine, Mike Collins, did about how to get hard money and what you need to know about it. So if you go to thereiminute.com/hard money made easy. And I got it on the screen here, so that makes it easier for you. Take a look at that, watch the video, and Mike's got some great stuff to help you get those properties financed so there'd be one less hurdle in getting into the foreclosure market or the short sale market. I also want to tell you real quick, as you know, we do an almost hour-long show every week, audio radio show called Get Real. And this week on Get Real, we've got Scott Taylor, the 15-minute landlord, coming on, and he is talking about how to do preventative maintenance, do inspections on your rental property so that you can put a little bit of cash into them today to keep them up and save a whole bunch of money later in the big time repairs. So make sure you go and check that out. You can go to thereiminute.com and you'll be able to see this week's show. Download it. You can go to iTunes and type in Get Real Estate Investing, and it'll take you right to our show, and you can subscribe to it from there, 100% free. So anyways, that'll do it for this week. If you've got any questions for me, make sure you go to thereiminute.com and click on questions and ask them. And also while you're there, if you want to get a really cool 97-page ebook on internet marketing for creative real estate investors, just click on the side there, put in your name and your email address, and you'll get that ebook along with our weekly newsletter, What's Up Wednesday, with 5 to 7 really good articles that'll help you stay abreast on the real estate investing market and some how-tos to make sure you're staying up and staying profitable. So until next week, happy investing.